Hello everyone, I'm Justin, and for today's video, we are supporting our favorite idol. Play the music. Ladies and gentlemen, are you into idols? Is Yuri your thing? You want a comedy to pass the time? Well, look no further because I bring you, if my favorite pop idol made it to the Budokan, I would die. And before we start reviewing this anime, let me ask you something. Have you ever had an obsession on something or someone? Maybe an actor or a singer, maybe an anime character, or maybe some collectible object. Well, this anime basically encompasses everything that happens when this obsession goes to the next level. Oshibudo centers around Eripio, a woman living a normal life until one day she watches the performance of an idol group called Cham Yam, and it is at this moment where her eyes meets with Maina, the least popular member of the group, becoming obsessed with her smile and singing to the point of spending all her money buying her merchandise, thus making her wear only a tracksuit. During the show we also get to meet some of the other fans like Kumasa, the ideal image of an idol fan, fat and ugly, but respectful to the girls, admiring them from a safe distance. And Motoi, the kind of young guy following a girl that most idol fans can relate to. And of course, we get to meet all the girls in the group and see their interactions every day. With that said, let's move on to review this anime, the good, the bad, and its ending. To me, this anime felt like an exposition on what it is like to be a wota, or an idol fan in Japan, as we get to see their everyday lives on how they interact with each other, and we not only get to see those, but also the interaction with the idols that we get to see in most idol anime nowadays. Some people seem that they are just creepy or weirdos, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes their ideas feel out of place, but that's what makes them so realistic to me. We get to see early on how Kumasa talks about his decisions in life following his favorite idol Reo, and we can see that he truly enjoys this life and it is what really brings him happiness, which is something that we all strive for. So if something really makes you happy, you should follow it all the way no matter what. On the other hand, we get Eripio, who, to be honest, if she was a guy, I would be a bit scared of the safety of Maina. But since she is a girl, everything is fine. Right, guys? Anyway, Eripio brings all the comedy by herself, with all her interactions with Maina, her efforts spending all the money she has just to improve Maina's reputation and making her more popular. But on the other side, she's so intense that just by her sheer presence, she drives away any potential fan for Maina. And it's really funny to see how she forces herself up to the point of exhaustion and illness. And then we see how Maina is the purest girl in the world, wishing she didn't force herself so much. I'm starting to see why she likes her so much. And even though the show is indeed about Eripio having an unhealthy relationship with an idol, to the core, this is an idol anime, so we see the usual idol singing, but we also get to see a bit on their daily life, how they interact with each other, their lives and jobs outside of being an idol, their struggles to become more popular, and of course, a bit of romance. Think whatever you want of me, but I do love a bit of Yuri in my life. It gives this feeling of romance while still maintaining that pure image of an idol. Aside from that, I'm really happy with the personalities of all the idols, which most of the time we get to see the usual combo of just one girl being interesting while the others are just standing there doing nothing. But on this anime, we get to see a bit of everyone from the least popular all the way to the top 3 idols of the group that compete with each other to become the center of the group. As a last note, I want to say that while I don't usually enjoy music as the main point of an anime, since my belief is that it should only be in the background while something else is happening, this show has some good choices in music that elevate it to be a better tier. And of course, the opening and the ending are my favorite. With that said, let's move on to our next topic. While I thought the girls all have some interesting stories and personalities, they all felt a bit underdeveloped, as the anime is only 12 episodes long, so a few things will need to get glossed over for the benefit of the plot. I wish we had a bit more of a development between Maki and Yumeri's relationship, Yuri, or Aya's work in a maid cafe. But hopefully, a second season will delve deeper into these points. Aside from that, another thing that bothers me is the extremely slow pace of the show. Since the main idea is for Eripio to fulfill her dream of watching Mina in the Budokan, you would expect to see some improvement, moving out of the basement where they have all their lives to a bigger place or maybe a greater audience. But aside from the festival, they are really not getting that much exposure, and the show doesn't seem to mind that, focusing only on their day-to-day lives, which is not wrong. I just wish they could combine it a bit more with some plot progression. There are really not other faults in the show, so let's move on to our last topic. The last 2 episodes focuses on the Sotoichi Idol Festival, as we get to see some green reality about the idol industry, in which they have to compare themselves to the other idols in the industry and realize that the Budokan is still a dream within a dream. A girl in Reo's previous group has made it big in her new group Maple Doll, so we get to see Reo is doing her best to keep up while some of the girls, especially Mina, feel like they can't. But with a bit of encouragement from Meripio, they get to the Idol Festival. We see a bit more of the idol fan culture as they make lines to the festival, watch different shows, and finally, it's time for Cham Jam into the stage, after some unsavory comments from Maple Doll.
メイたち、武道館ライブ決まったんだ。
But overall, they get to have a great performance and we get a bit of a moment between Eripio and Mina. Then, the last minutes of the show ends with a handshake event where Eripio reiterates her purpose in life.
マイナちゃんが武道館行ってくれたら死ぬ!
And with that, we come to the conclusion of this anime review. What did you guys thought about Oshibudo? Who is your favorite idol? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, see you guys next time.